Hey, what's up, my little hunters? It's your boy James Killer, and I've got a review that's actually pretty current. Yeah, it is yeah, a little bit of a wall over there. I don't want you guys to see it just yet, because I want to get it into a good position, make sure everything's good, because, yeah, this is one of the best ones I've got. So it is the Destiny's Bounty from the new Lego Ninjago movie. And I honestly thought this was one of the best Lego sets ever made. It is to date, with me, the biggest one, like piece-wise, I've ever owned. This has 2,295 pieces, and it came with a whole lot more extra pieces than even I'm used to. But yeah, so this is the Destiny's Bounty. So I have it set up because I like it. I think it's kind of cliche-ish, but funny. I've got Sensei Wu. Come on, focus. Focus on Sensei Wu. This thing doesn't have an autofocus. Dang it. Well, anyway, as you can see, Sensei Wu is at the front of the boat, and I've always loved how in movies the wise, like the teacher, is always at the head of the boat, just kind of looking out, being all kind of mystical and stuff. So I wanted to do that, and then how am I gonna do this for you guys? Right here is Cole, Ninja of Earth. Nia, who apparently is the Ninja of Water. Jay is the Ninja of Lightning. Kai is driving this because I watched the movie and I wasn't too happy about it, but because I thought it was gonna be more like towards adults, like the last two Lego movies were. But then it wasn't, so I was kind of disappointed, but also kind of happy. But yeah, and there was no clear. Well, okay, there was. Lloyd was the leader, and regardless of if he's the green or gold ninja, I don't think he should be the leader. I think Kai should be the leader because growing up, I was kind of raised on the premise red is the leader. So Kai is the leader, therefore he drives the boat. And then, let me turn it. I have to be careful because this thing weighs a ton. But there's Lloyd, kind of hiding in there. And then some of you who know it, or know the show, are like, well, where's Zane? Well, because of Zane being a ninjroid and portrayed even more as a machine, he's actually all the way up there. And I have him up here because the way I have this is Lloyd is the navigator kind of guy. Like, he's reading the map, and Zane's kind of like the heads-up display guy. Like, he says, oh, there's rocks on the starboard bow, or there's a waterfall in 200 meters, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. And I'm going to go in depth on Sensei Wu real quick. Well, I'm going to go in depth on each of them because I like the way they look. Sensei Wu, if I can get this stupid thing to focus. Could you focus, please? This thing has no autofocus. I hate that. Well, not that you can... Let me see if I can get it somewhat clear. There we go. As you can see, Sensei Wu has kind of this little clothy piece on him, and even without the cloth piece, I kind of like it, but I like it better with the cloth piece because, again, it adds that kind of mystical kind of look to Sensei that, whoops. Sorry, Sensei. Just trying to, dang it. Dang it. Sorry guys if my voice sounds kind of weird. There's currently a virus going around in my home city. But anyway, yeah, he looks all kinds of mystical with it, and I like it. So, he's still got his standard staff that we all know from the series. And then, this made me madder than a wet hen. Because, okay, I did watch the series. I know that they lost the golden weapons of Spinjitzu, and they had the techno blades and all that stuff, but I do not like that Cole has a hammer. Yes, I get he is the... Woo! Hammer just flew out of his hand. I get that he's the ninja of Earth, and hammer kind of is associated with Earth, but I hate it. I hate that he was given a hammer. However, I just did a survey with Lego, giving my thoughts on the... I was mainly giving my thoughts on the boat, but yeah. With the weapons, I don't think Cole should have a hammer that's taller than he is. If he could have had like a smaller hammer, I would have been fine with it. But yeah, he didn't. And okay, to some degree, I like what Jay has. I can't fully remember what kind of weapon this is called. But I like that you can kind of like, spin them around and like knock over bad guys. Now that you can really knock over Sensei because he's got the stick, unless you hit him in the legs. But everyone falls if you hit him in the legs, pretty much. But yeah, one downside, like to me, is this new head assignment. Because if you take that top piece off, come on, this is loose already. So it doesn't really matter if you stick the head in, it just moves. But at the same time, I kind of like this because then if they put this out in like just one consecutive color, it can be like a really cool kind of pirate-y hat. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Jay. I also like the torso designs on all of these guys. I can't really read the Ninjago writing on them. But yeah. And then Nia got her... I don't see how silver personifies water, honestly. But she's like the silver... She's like the black and silver ninja. So I think that's more like a titanium kind of ninja, but whatever. I do like that she has a little bit of detailing on her arm, kind of like Cole does. Right here on his wrist. I guess those are supposed to represent wristbands, and I'm okay with that. But I don't like how the characters were in the movie. Like Jay's he's basically kind of like a wimp. And, okay, I get that he was a little bit wimpy and, all that, but he wasn't, like, that stupid in the TV show. And, yes, I realize that they can't, have everyone be exactly like they are in the movie, but still. But back to Nia, oh, yeah, each and every one of them has the same symbol on them, to give you a better view. It's this symbol. Everyone has that on them, on their backs, right here. Matter of fact, I think even Zane has it. Let me see. You guys can see too. Yep, he has it. So anyway, everyone has that little thing on them. Like, it's the Sensei Wu emblem, so they'll have that. I do love that Nia actually gets a spear, though. Because that kind of takes me back to, what is that? The Last Avatar. I loved that show. So her having this kind of makes sense for, like, a water person. Because water could come off the tip. So it makes sense for her, anyway. And, Zane, I honestly don't understand why Zane has a... Whoops. That's not supposed to come off. I don't understand why Zane has a bow and arrow and whatever this is called. I can't remember what it's called. The little backpack that holds your arrows. He has one, and I don't understand why that's his primary weaponry. But, you know, whatever. I do like that he has this kind of uniform. Like, he's not like everybody else where they've got a little bit of their shirt or under armor, I guess you'd call it, hanging out. He is actually fully fastened, so. And then Kai, he's the only one who's actually wearing any kind of armor, in all honesty. Like, he's got a little bit of shoulder armor on him. Got a little bit of, I guess you could consider the holsters or sheaths armor for his back, but, you know, he's got none for his front. But, yeah, I thought that was actually kind of cool. And, I'm pretty sure he has the symbol. I don't really want to try and take off everything because I'd have to sit you guys down. But, yeah. And there are 7 minifigures, all included. There's the 6 ninja plus Sensei Wu, so. Now, weapon-wise, this is my favorite. Because this is a new mold for swords. And it's kind of, this sword, I think, is a scimitar, but a little bit more non-edged, I guess you'd say. Like, regular scimitars are kind of curved back, kind of almost at a 90-degree angle. This is more kind of like maybe a 15, maybe a 5, I don't know. But it actually kind of feels sharp. Running my finger over this blade, it almost kind of feels sharp, so it's actually more believable. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see. Maybe if I bring you over to the light, or maybe if I turn on the light. Give me a second. Hang on, guys. That probably didn't do much for the lighting, but if you can see it, there's like a little bit of, how do I get it? Like, it's kind of like scales. Like snake scales. If you've ever seen a snake, look at their scales. And it's pretty much all over his arm. And, oh, and I also love the little wristband detail. But it's all over his upper torso. I don't know if it's on his lower torso. Doesn't look like it. So it's only on his upper torso. But he's got kind of like this little scale pattern on him, and I love that. But now that we've gotten all of the boring stuff out of the way, wha-bam, let's get to the awesomeness that is Destiny's Bounty. Starting at the head, or helm, or whatever this piece is called. I don't know what it's called. I don't know boats, guys. But each of the, and there's 2 dragon heads if you didn't notice. But each one has the ability to open and close its mouth. And if you're looking for a little bit of goofiness, each one of these dragon heads can have an expression. Like, one can, I think I just broke the banana. Yep, I did. Hang on. Dang it. There we go. And, no. There. Like, see how one's kind of angry looking and one's kind of like concerned? You can do that if you're like trying to make it seem like the boat's animated. I'm not, so I just make it look like they're ticked off the whole time. And it kind of looks better with the mouths, open. But I love the ornateness of these whiskers or mustache pieces that each of them has. And then it's kind of really, really cool because if you follow this, it actually flows up into the horns, which also kind of flows into the side paneling that goes all the way up back here. So there's that, and then this is this is really cool. For the record, this is my first ever boat. I've never owned a Lego boat, except for like those small ones that actually float. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Anyway. But each anchor can actually be pulled up. Like, you could actually, if you're really, really into boats and into piratey stuff and all that, you know, you could say, hoist the anchor. And, you can literally hoist the anchor up onto the boat and sail the seven seas. And then it's the little things that make me love this boat so much. Like the lantern at the, I think it's called the helm, is yellow, whereas all the other ones are red. So I love that little detail, and then I absolutely love the sails. Like, absolutely love them. And I love how they didn't actually, like, they left a little bit of a blank area right here. But if you look, the dragon is still technically whole, but it's also divided. So there's that, and then there's also the fact that there are a few hidden compartments. Right here, you can hide your two sais in there. And then in this one, there's two golden katanas. These don't actually hide anything, they're just kind of there for detailing. But then you've got these little bits of, like, vegetation. And keep in mind, I found out this whole ship is still accurate to the original one. Like, in universe, it still flies. These things are the boosters. These things boost it up. Unfortunately, they didn't... Let me set you guys down for a second. You can do this. No. Anyway, there we go. Yep, you can see it. So anyway, right here in universe, there are supposed to be some boosters, I guess. And this is supposed to go off one more. There we go. But in the movie, there was supposed to be some boosters right here, but there aren't. So I guess you mainly have to imagine this thing just floats. Like it's just an ordinary boat. But even with that, it's still awesome. And this is my favorite little detail. I've seen and played with all the other Lego boats. Go down. Go down. But this is the only one I've ever seen that has this little feature. Like, this flag actually flaps back and forth. Or I guess it's a banner, or banister. But it flaps back and forth, and I love that. Sorry guys, I'm short of breath because I'm not feeling well. But this is another little detail I love, is the roof is in sections. And there's the interior. It's a little cramped even for a Lego stature. Kind of cramped, but it's still pretty cool. And then these were so annoying because these are actually on a pattern of sticker 4, sticker 5 around the whole ship. Like those stickers, it's sticker 4, sticker 5 in that pattern around this whole area. But it was still pretty cool. And then over here, let me see if I can get it out for you guys. Okay, I get my big hand in there. So let me see if I can get it. There we go. This is a, whoops, come here. This is a map of how to get to the temple of the ultimate weapon, which turns out to be just Lloyd believing in the ninja. Spoiler alert. It's not actually the temple of the ultimate weapon. It is called the temple of, what was it? Basically, this whole temple thing, when you buy it, it's called the temple of the ultimate weapon. But it's actually where Wu and Garmadon grew up. And holy crap, that was crazy. Because the whole place is supposedly unstable. And Garmadon even kind of makes the remark, yeah, I had to move to an active volcano just to feel safe. So that's saying a lot for the house. It's not like their parents were good parents, but they built their house so unstable that their son had to move into an active volcano just to feel safe. Like, what does that say about the building structure of these parents? And then, hey. I'm trying to show you guys all the little details, and it's not easy to do with one hand. But there we go. This is the telescope that you can assign to any of the people. But, yeah. So that's there. And then, of course, Sensei's got his little teapot and his little teacup over there. And then let me see if we can get these off. Oh boy, this is tough. There we go. So, I'm going to sit down real quick. So, move like this. So, in this little barrel is actually it's hilarious to think about, but this is a soda can. They gave the ninjas a soda. More specifically, they gave Sensei Wu a soda in a barrel. Let that sink in. They gave Sensei Wu an entire ship, and in one barrel is a can of soda. Yeah. And then sticking to stereotypical Ninjago, they gave you 2 cards. This is the actual Sensei Wu card. And again, I apologize for the poor camera. But yeah, I'm working with what I've got. And right now I've got an iPhone 3 or 4, I don't know. And then this is Kai's Energy Kai. If you guys remember that. Yeah, it's old. So that's the cargo, I guess. I guess that's what you could say the cargo is. Hang on, guys. I gotta open this window in here. It is stifling. There we go. Now I don't feel like I'm in a song. So yeah, that's what you get. This wise anyway. And the building instructions were kind of interesting because I thought that this area, if you push it off, is one of those tiles where it's kind of like it's a 2 squared, meaning there's 4 studs on it, but they took off the 2 studs. So it's kind of like having a stud like this. Matter of fact, I think that is one of them. Yeah. It's this stud is right under this area, and I thought that was kind of goofy, because I thought it was going to be a seat. Apparently it's not. So with all that being said, gotta get back here just because it's awesome. If you notice, there's actually smokestacks, and what that is that basically there was. I just broke it a little bit. I broke the roof. Thankfully, it didn't go down the sink. That would have been horrible. But basically, there was a time in Japanese and Asian history where they had to actually start powering their boats by motor. This thing's popping up on the other side. Fix it later. Anyway, they had to power them by motor. Like they couldn't sail anymore. So this is actually partial motor. Not that there's any motor to see. I think it predominantly flies, it doesn't sail, but whatever. And then it's partial wind. So it partially sails, it's partially motorized. And I thought that was cool. So now let's get down to tacks of brass. So give me a second. Here, stare at the ninjas. Or a roll of toilet paper. We'll put something in front of you guys so you're not completely bored with this video. Please don't be bored with the video. And give me a second to fix my roof. Okay. Now I'm going to divide this up into sections, guys, just to give you a little bit of better detailing on how things worked on this boat. So basically, here's what I call the captain's quarters. I guess that's what it would be. Not really sure, but yeah, this is just the top of the boat. And if you listened carefully, you could hear that it doesn't actually click. It just kind of sits on top of the other half. It doesn't actually click, it just sits there. Stupid roof. Anyway, so this doesn't actually serve much of a purpose other than falling into the next floor if this boat gets taken over, I guess. But over here, at this end, you can see a sextant right there. And then there's a little window for, I guess, if you just kind of want to gaze out to what's behind you. So, yeah. And again, there's a red lantern. Not to be confused with red lanterns of DC. I'm trying to make a joke there. I know it's pathetic, but it's all I've got. So, and then this was a really, like, it wasn't complicated, but it was kind of mentally challenging because these arms are the Lego Skeleton Army ones, but they trick you so good because I thought that they were supposed to do something else until I started building. So yeah, full on me. Then there's this one actually does stay, like you can knock it back and forth and it will just let gravity pull it right back. And obviously this isn't connected to anything, so it spins freely. Then they've got a little compass right there. So, and this symbol literally means woo, I think. Or it's always been associated with woo. So, yeah. Like I said, there's little bits of vegetation going on both sides. So, there's that portion, and then there's this portion, which is the dojo, and I saved this because of my lighting situation. So there's the dojo. This literally, back here, says woo. That's woo in ninjago. So I think it says woo's dojo. I think that's what this says is dojo. So it's woo, it's dojo, woo, which could be interpreted as woo's dojo. So, yeah. I don't know what kind of plant this is. If you do, comment down below. But I thought it was pretty cool. And just this alone was interesting to build. Give you a quick one, or a full 360. And then, this kind of makes me paranoid. Man, there we go. There are 3 weapons back here. And they are all loose. Like, they could fall out at any time. But I plan on mostly just displaying this, not really playing with it. But then they've got a little crossbow back here, then a dummy to train with back there. Sorry for my thumb getting in the way. And then they've got 2 lanterns in here, and this piece was introduced in Lego Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the movie. Not the cartoon series of 2012, but the movie. So, and I'll give you another quick 360 of what's inside. Floor plan. Honestly, this is actually one of the better floor plans I've seen Lego design. But yeah, I thought that this was one of the most awesome builds. Just like, if this was gonna be someone's house, personally, I could see it working out. You know, I mean, you might have to change a few things, but, you know, it's pretty good for a house. So, and that's all for the layers. Give me another second, and I will show you what it looks like on the inside of the boat. Because apparently, well, I shouldn't say this. There is an inside, but it's hard to get the panel off to show you the inside. Takes a little bit of finessing. Okay, a lot of finessing. So back here we have the observation deck with its excessively large telescope. But internally, we've got a lot more to look at. So over there is the bathroom for the ninja and Sensei Wu. Working sink, somehow that works. Like, not in reality, obviously, but in universe, this is a working sink and toilet. That's toilet paper. that's the ladder to get out. And, yeah. Ladder apparently comes up through this. So somehow you're supposed to be able to pop this open and get out. I don't know how that's supposed to work. I guess they're supposed to just bust the bars off and then replace them. I don't know. But anyway. And then Sensei's got a picture of the 5 ninja. Or I think that's the 5 ninja. I'm pretty sure it's the ninja. Yeah. It's back when they were the original ninja, not the new one. They didn't look like they look now. That's all I got to say. They didn't. I can't really place this back on. But then there's Garmadon's original helmet from the series. And then the letter he wrote to Misako, who apparently is now Coco, or Lady Iron Dragon, or whatever the heck her name was in the movie. And then it's kind of hard to turn. But there is an Anaconda Warrior helmet. I think this is supposed to be one of the Stone Warrior's swords. That blade, whatever it's called, couple of size. This is currently the newest, like, actual Lego Ninjago, not movie-wise. This is from the Snake Army group. I don't think they're actual snake people, like they're made out of snakes, not snakes that are bipedal. And then an Air Jitsu blade, Zane's shurikens of ice. And that's about all you get in there. But this is one of the best things to me. This is Woo's bed, or Kai, or whoever you decide. But it's an actually functional bed. Like, you can put a figure in here, and they can sleep. So I thought that was really good on Lego's behalf to actually build that in. And the picture, because I didn't secure it, is fighting. Stupid picture. So yeah, it's actually a really good build. It took me 7 hours because I actually did it by, I did it by the bag, and there were 15 bags to go through. So I did all 15. That's probably why it took me 7 hours. Would have probably taken me less time if I just opened every bag and gone, I'm looking for that part. Oh, it's right here. But I wanted to be a little bit more mature with my building, so I did the more mature thing and used the bags. So I did it by bag. And then, obviously you can tell I took the sails off, and they're on the floor. I think I did pretty well on showing you guys the sails. If you want, I can show them to you more in depth in the next video, if you even want another video on this thing. But honestly, I would give this thing a 10 out of 10. Like, I definitely recommend that you get this either for your young Lego builder, or just for yourself if you're, like me, you're 20 or above, and you still play with the Legos every now and then. You're like, you know what? I need a good build. I need a Lego product that still inspires me to keep playing with Legos. And that's what this does for me, is it inspired me to get back into Legos after I'd kind of sworn off Legos because Lego got kind of crappy with the plastic, but now it's actually it's more sturdy. Oh, I forgot to show you this part. Dragon heads can actually come up too. I don't know what use that is for, but apparently it comes up. So yeah, that's Lego Ninjago's Destiny's Bounty for the movie. Tell me what you guys think. Could this use something better, like being able to float and, click on motor and it drives around your pool or whatever? That's my personal thought. That was one of my gripes to Lego was I would have liked it to be able to float and be motorized, but I understand why it wasn't. Because this whole set, and I could only find it at one store in my home city. It was Target, Walmart, Fred Meyer's. Nowhere else had it but Target. And it was $173.45 after tax. Before tax, it's $159.99. So, if you're willing to bust out almost $200 for a Lego set, I would definitely recommend this. I don't have Lego Ninjago City for the Lego Ninjago movie. That's going to be my next splurge when my college money comes next quarter. This quarter cuts off at December 12th. So, if I have enough money to splurge like that again, I might buy Ninjago City. I might not. Save up for another thing that's on my list of wants, not needs. I didn't need this. I just wanted it. But, yeah. So, tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how I do it. You know how we all do it. If you're a YouTuber, you know how to do it. If you're a YouTube watcher, you still know how we do it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Comment, yeah. And until next time, my little hunters, you should have stayed awake.